Hello guys, welcome to Himalayan Chronicles. I hope you are doing great today, December 31st. We all know that New Year is about to start 2026 within 24 hours. So by the way, I want to do a roundup 2025 with our Sony PlayStation Portable, the fat model, also called as PSP 1000. We are using Arc 4 custom firmware and I have put up some good homebrew into this console. So I would suggest people visit this video, check out what is the best homebrew that's available. As you can see, Super Mario. I have two versions of Super Mario, bilinear and anti-aliasing. And also we have beautiful games, guys. So see the full video to enjoy. By the way, today I've installed the custom boot screen as well. As you can see, Sony Computer Entertainment, the custom boot screen. When you launch the game, it is open in the custom boot screen. And once the game is launched, it is Super Mario 64 particular port for the Sony PlayStation Portable. Running awesome, guys, literally awesome. Performance is very good. So there are two versions of Super Mario 64. One is the bilinear version, one is anti-aliasing version. Both versions have copied. So it depends on the graphics preference, which one you need. Very seamless, as you can see. The interface is amazing. Literally, Sony PlayStation Portable was way ahead of its time when it was released. As you can see, lot of homebrew community has developed in the recent times, and especially having a Sony PlayStation Portable 1000 is a great boon for every gamer. Definitely you can enjoy all the retro games. As you can see, the graphics is also quite good. I'm getting a solid 30 frames per second performance when I'm opening the Super Mario. This is 3D Mario actually, as you can see here. Total 3D environment, guys. So I've copied so many homebrew games for us to enjoy. So do visit our PlayStation playlist in our channel Himalayan Chronicles to know better what are the home ports available. So as an overview for 2025, I'm showing you all the homebrew that is best homebrew that I would recommend for every Sony PlayStation Portable handheld. So as you can see, performance is quite good, 3D, amazing graphics. Really love it, guys. Literally love it. As you can see, the movement is fine. I can use my direction buttons, the navigation buttons, and the D-pad. Everything works seamlessly on my PlayStation Portable. The Super Mario game, just amazing. Let us explore other games as well. Recently, I also saw a particular port called as Cuphead. Let me show you that. Let us launch it and then I'll show you the Cuphead. One more port that recently been done with the PlayStation Portable. So by the way, PSP 1000 is an amazing device. During my childhood, I used to explore this device like anything. Now this is Cuphead, guys. This is the custom logo, the Sony Computer Entertainment custom logo, and we are launching the Cuphead. Performance is quite good. I really like it. As you can see here, it's able to boot pretty seamlessly. And this is Cuphead, guys. This is my fan made port. Couple of fans have made this port, the Cuphead port, on the PlayStation Portable. So let us launch it. It's going to take a little bit long. So as I mentioned, this is a fan game of Cuphead. All the images, sound effects are property of studio. So basically it's a developer edition. So basically developers have compiled this particular game, the Cuphead, as you can see here, running very seamlessly on the PlayStation Portable. Love it, guys. So by the way, PlayStation Portable is a proper media player as well. It supports MP3, UMD movies. UMD stands for Universal Media Disc, which is a small disc of 1.7 GB in size. And the Arc 4 supports UMD movies as well. Right now I'm playing Cuphead, as I told you, it's a port recently being developed for Sony PlayStation Portable. Along with it, once you have the PSP with Arc 4, you are opening up the opportunities to use all the retro consoles. When I say retro console, I mean Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nemesis, and so on. All the retro consoles, you will have a lot of opportunities to play. Let us explore some other games that we have loaded in the Sony PlayStation Portable 1000 model. So as I scroll down, Super Nintendo. This is emulator for Super Nintendo. Beautiful emulator which supports multiple Super Nintendo games. Of course, you need to get the ROMs in a legitimate way. Once you have the ROMs installed, this is going to scan the ROMs and your emulator can play any ROM, the game ROM. So basically, as I told you, Super Nintendo, I'm just launching it. As you can see, the list of the games that I have. Randomly, I will want to show you the performance. You can select any of the game like maybe Super Racer or some other game. Once you press that, once you launch it, it's going to launch with full clarity on the PlayStation Portable. So this is right now running Super Nintendo emulator. These emulators have really widened the scope of the PlayStation Portable. As you can see here, Sparkstar is one of the game of Super Nintendo running very seamlessly on the Sony PlayStation Portable. You can see almost like Sonic rival, almost similar to it, but the performance is quite good. As you can see here, all the directional buttons are working, including D-pad, X button, square, triangle, circle. All the buttons are working fine, guys. So that's the magic of it. And this emulator, a lot of settings are also there. You can change the brightness, you can change the graphic options for the emulator, as I told you earlier. So there are multiple emulators available: Atari, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nemesis, and so on. Plus you have the PlayStation games as usual. The best PSP games, I have loaded some of them on this console. Stay tuned for the entire video so that you will know what titles are the best, as per my experience on this beautiful handheld. By the way, it is way ahead of the time, almost 2 decades. 20 years have passed since the introduction of Sony PlayStation Portable in the world. That's really great. And the interface is very similar to PS3. It is called as Express Media Bar Interface, XMB. So let me launch the other games that we have today. So 2025 roundup, guys. See the full video so that you know what are the best games that are suitable. Let's open Game Boy Advance. This is the emulator which will emulate any Game Boy games directly on the PlayStation Portable. So it's launching right now. So welcome to the Game Boy Advance emulator running on the Sony PlayStation Portable. Here also I've loaded a couple of ROMs. Once it loads, I'll show you what are the ROMs available. So we can start. As you can see, list of the games that we have. These are GBA, Game Boy Advance. You need to get a legitimate ROM copies. Then only you can run this as emulator. So I just ran one of the game randomly. I want to show you how the Game Boy Advance works upon. As you can see, it's able to load pretty seamlessly. It's asking for some time settings. Let us continue that. Let's try to test it, how it launches. This is one of the game, I think Boktaj. Right now it is in emulation mode, guys. Game Boy Advance emulating in the PlayStation Portable 1000 model. Boktaj is one of the game. Great, guys, literally great. I really like this emulation options available. You can happily enjoy retro games right in your pocket. That's the magic of Sony PlayStation Portable. Especially HomeBrew community has developed so far in the past couple of years. They have developed a lot of stuff, guys. As you can see, some settings are there here. By the way, I'm exiting the emulator. Now let us launch the other emulator as well. I want to show you all the emulators I have installed on the Sony PlayStation Portable 1000 model. Let me launch the memory stick. We'll open the memory stick now, and it should show you the different emulators that we have. So far I have shown you some of the HomeBrew, Mario, and as well as Nintendo. Now Game Boy Advance also I have shown you. Right, now let me show you the other things that are available with us. By the way, emulation is a better option on Sony PlayStation. You can emulate multiple devices. So in one device I have a lot of capabilities playing games from different devices, that too in a good resolution. 472 by 240 resolution, 16:9 format. That's the beauty of it, guys. So these are all Game Boy Advance, I told you, right? All Game Boy Advance games. And Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon is also available, guys. Let me tell you. Definitely, Pokemon is also available as one of the Game Boy Advance version. As you see, these Pokemon only. So that's the advantage of running this particular emulator options that are available for Sony PlayStation Portable. We'll also explore other emulators like Atari and so on. By the way, performance is good, audio perfect, video perfect. There is no glitches. There are no frame drops. When I'm emulating these devices, there are no frame drops at all. As you can see here, Pokemon was able to launch perfectly fine. Now I am going to start the next one, Atari. Let us see the Atari as well. So when I relaunch the memory stick option, once we go to XMB interface, we need to open the memory stick and then we will see the next emulator, that is Atari. That is also a good emulator, guys, by the way. Atari has got a lot of games. So it's going to take a time because I'm using almost a 2 GB card on 20-year-old console. So this is again Nintendo. This is not Super Nintendo, it's Nintendo. And then we have Game Boy is done. Now we have Game Boy Nintendo. Wow. So let us open Nintendo now. Okay, let's see how the performance is. Overall, I would say performance is good. Emulations are happening wonderful. There is no performance issue at all, especially when emulating the old devices. We call it as retro devices, right? So retro emulation is quite possible with this emulator. And by the way, I've installed a custom launcher as well. You can see all the emulators over here. So that's the advantage, guys. So by the way, Sony PlayStation Portable was a great success during that times because it provides you entertainment on the move. I can play MP3, WMA files, video files, and as well as multiple games. I can emulate other devices. Of course, jailbreak is required. ARC 4 or some custom firmware is definitely required. But still, since there is no longer any warranty, we are using a custom firmware and we are running it on the PlayStation Portable. As you can see, the games are running pretty fine. Really, it brings back the old memories that I have, especially with the emulators. Really looking forward for these games to play. As an experience, I would like to you also check my playlist PlayStation in the Himalayan Chronicles to find out how to install it, how to configure it, how to run the games. That will be useful for you guys as well. So now again I'm opening the memory stick. Let's see what are the other things we have. Genesis, Atari, Game Boy Color. All these are emulator by. Right now opening Atari. Atari is another emulator which will emulate the Atari device. So right now emulator has opened. We are loading the ROM. Let us load the ROM and let's see how it will launch the game. This is Atari emulator, guys. So we got a good bunch of emulators available for us. Very handy. Really liked it, guys. Really liked it. Very handy emulators. All these are emulators which are available for us. So once we launch the ROM, it's going to load the emulator in the memory and you should be able to start playing the game. So that's the beauty of it. So now I'll also show you the PlayStation Portable native games. I mean to say the native games especially. So we'll show you that as well. I have the whole Atari library over here. Let us launch one of the game. So it is actually emulating all the retro consoles right from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nemesis and Atari. These are all the old consoles that are still being used in multiple countries, but out of production most of them. So as you can see here now, so I'm just launching one of the game which is again based on Atari version. So now we are running the Atari emulation on the Sony PlayStation. The color reproduction is also good. The color depiction is good. Sound is coming. Videos are playing fine on almost 30 frames per second. There are no frame drops at all while playing the game. I really like it, guys. Literally, emulation is way ahead on this Sony PlayStation Portable. Way ahead. By the way, the CPU is 333 MHz and RAM is roughly 32 MB RAM for PSP 1000. PSP 2000 is 64 MB RAM. Now you can see the game was able to launch the Atari version game. Similarly, we'll also show you what are the different options available on the Sony PlayStation, the native games, because native games are more aligned to the performance of PSP 1000. There are some, flagship games that were released along with PSP 1000. So let me show you that. Stay tuned. So by the way, performance is good on all the retro emulators are working fine. You need to copy the retro emulator once you expand it to the PSP folder within your memory stick. Okay, after the ARC4 installation, of course. So I'll show you what are the games that are running on the PSP. So it's taking a while because memory stick is 256 GB. It's going to scan the entire memory stick before it populates the icons. So now let's open the game Nemesis. Yeah, Game Boy, Nemesis, Atari, many are there. Let us open the Nemesis as well. So let's see how it is able to launch and the performance. Literally, I have not played retro games in the recent past, but the experience seems to be good. If you see the console capabilities of handheld, literally in the pocket, all your retro collection is available in your pocket in handheld. That's a great choice. Literally great choice. Most of the games are Nintendo and Game Boy and Sega games. It's a good opportunity, especially to play the old games with the current 2-decade-old console. Yes, guys, almost 20-year back console this is. It's not a new one. It's 20-year back. So I would launch this game. Let's see how the performance is. Eden Entertainment. Game looks good actually. The interface resembles like Contra, but in fact the performance is good. I don't have any challenges or updates for this particular game. All the buttons are working fine, directional buttons are working, D-pad is working. So let us explore more games now. So far I've shown you Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nemesis and Atari and Nintendo as well. So let us now relaunch the memory stick and we'll see what are the other games that are available as part of emulator package. All these are retro emulators, guys. Some of them are homebrew. For example, Super Mario is rewritten for the PSP itself. These are all homebrew community. Now I just opened Atari emulator. Emulator normally takes 2-3 seconds time before it loads up. Once it loads, the game performance will be quite amazing, especially when I talk about 2 decades old console. So once the emulator loads, Atari emulator loads, I'll be able to see all the different games available here. I go to that particular folder where I have the ROMs and then I can play all these Atari games one by one. These are all legally backed up games, so you need to somehow get these ROM images so that I can play these games as part of retro emulation on Sony PlayStation Portable 1000 model. So there is one more recent port, Call of Duty Nazis. One of the port recently for the Sony PlayStation. Type of Call of Duty and Quake engine, and it runs the zombie mode. So right now it's launching. This is again a port, a homebrew port, not an official release, homebrew port which can run on a Sony PlayStation on Arc 4 custom firmware. Okay. So it's taking a while for loading it. As you can see here, initializing and loading now. Once the loading is done, you can play the game. So keep watching the video, guys. Let's see how the game playing experience. Wonderful, D-pad is working fine, direction buttons are working fine. It looks like Call of Duty with the Quake engine, and it's a zombie mode. Almost good, yeah. 20 years old console, just imagine. It's playable, and homebrew community is slowly growing. It's widely growing and involving more number of ports for this PlayStation Portable 1000 model. So by the way, somehow I like PSP 1000 because of its build quality. It is more strong, and the sliding UMD is also good. It opens it pops up when you slide the button, and very sturdily built like a tank. And the only drawback is PSP 1000, the brightness is less, but of course you can install Arc 4 custom firmware and increase the brightness manually. I don't see any ghosting effects or anything. I would suggest that you can go for PSP 1000 or PSP 2000, because PSP 3000 has got the interlacing effect on high games. It has got interfacing lines coming up in between the screen. So I would suggest go for PSP 1000 or PSP 2000. So let me show you what are the games I have. NBA 2K13, Inferno, Arctic Edge, Silent Hill, third birthday. A lot of games, Prince of Persia, GTA, Tekken, Assassin's Creed, Monster Hunter, Need for Speed, God of War, Medal of Heroes, Medal of Honor, GTA all parts, Burnout Paradise, Simpson, Family Guy, Juiced 1 and 2, Street Fighter, and Wipeout, Virtual Tennis, NASCAR, Coast to Coast, Spider-Man. Multiple games I have, Metal Gear, Loco, and then we have the gun. Multiple games, guys. Really enjoying this console to its fullest capability in 2025. So welcome once again to 2026. And I also can start playing my backed up videos as well. If you have a UMD, you can back up your UMD video to playback as a movie file on the console itself. So literally Sony PlayStation Portable 1000 has came out of leaps. Compared to 20-year-old model, it is now ruling. The handheld almost ruling. We have got a wide variety of games, as well as PS3, PlayStation Portable UMD disc, and as well as the homebrew community, and a lot. Really, I love this PlayStation Portable 1000 model. If you're able to grab the PSP 1000 for about roughly 5,000 to 8,000 bucks, then you're good. But see the condition of the console itself, the battery and the overall body, as well as the memory chip reader, all ports should be working. Then only you can enjoy the true experience of having a retro handheld on a Sony PlayStation Portable, and you can enjoy all these games. So that's I'm winding up, guys. So it's a 2025 roundup of all PlayStation Portable games. You visit your playlist PlayStation to find more games, to understand more reviews, how to jailbreak, and so on. So thanks for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing Himalayan Chronicles, and Happy New Year once again. Wish you the best.